welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And listen, today I want to talk about how Kentucky Wildcats' little brother, the University of Losers, I'm talking about the Louisville Cardinals, they finessed the game, man. And for the people out there that don't know what I'm talking about they finessed the game to try to recruit DJ Wagner. And if you're not really up on that, if you're not following it, what happened was, this is the situation right here. I'll give it to you like this. Milt Wagner, which is DJ's granddaddy, he actually played on Louisville's championship team. And I'm not talking about the championship that never happened, the one that got vacated. I'm talking about the one that actually did count for Louisville. Well, him and Kenny Payne, I think, may have been teammates on that squad or whatever. And everybody knows that DJ's father, DeJuan Wagner, ended up playing for Coach Cal at Memphis. So it's just kind of always been this little back and forth about who's going to get DJ, right? And unfortunately for Big Blue Nation, I'm pretty sure he's going to go to Louisville now. And the reason why I'm sure about that is because today Louisville officially announced DJ's grandfather, Milt, as the director of player development at Louisville University, right? And the way they finessed the game was, if I'm not mistaken, I think the rules state that you technically cannot be offered a job on staff, which means like you can't be an assistant coach or, something of that nature, if you directly tie into a recruit, and you have to either be 2 years prior to being able to recruit this kid, or you have to be 2 years after the kid, right? So technically, as long as DJ is going to be on the campus, Milt would have had to have joined the squad 2 years before that, or he had to wait till 2 years after DJ leaves. But technically, the way they got around this is they offered him a whole different job, right? And the job title that he's going to be taking on technically is going to keep him, within the terms of being, legally, officially not attached to the recruiting of his grandson, right? And even though we all know it's directly attached to the recruiting of his grandson, I have to tip my hat to Louisville for finding out a way to finesse the game like they did. And I would pretty much all but guarantee that at this point, unless something crazy happens, he's probably going to end up a Louisville Cardinal, because like I said, technically Milt is the director of player development that's hired by the actual University of Louisville. He's not hired by Kenny Payne to be a part of his staff on the Louisville Cardinals basketball team. He's hired by the University of Louisville to be the director of player development. So technically, yes, they finessed the game. And like I was saying, the reason why I would all but, guarantee that the kid is going to Louisville is because, your grandfather just became a unofficial part of the staff. Why would you not go? Well, the only way that I could still see Milt losing out and DeJuan Wagner's son, DJ, coming to Kentucky is if somehow the NIL money changed the game, right? And, like I said, man, Louisville has been thirsty for a top-notch recruit ever since, they announced that Kenny Payne was going to be taking over as the coach. They've been coming up with all of these weird posters showing kids that don't have any ties to Louisville. Like they had a poster that they created that had Devin Booker and Julius Randle and one of the Morris twins, and I think Brandon Ingram, and all of these guys that their assistant coaches might have had a hand in recruiting to other schools, right? So they're extremely desperate. They're so desperate to recruit a top-notch 5-star prospect that they are, telling these kids that they're responsible for guys that played at Kentucky, right? And that's wild. Like, we get it. Kenny Payne, you was a Kentucky Wildcat. You got your championship as a Kentucky Wildcat, man. And, a part of us wanted to see you come back and be in the Big Blue Nation once again, but you decided to go up the street to our little brother. And now you are no longer a part of the family, man. You are our direct competitor. And, you've been making a lot of noise up in Louisville. Y'all been doing y'all's thing. But y'all going to have to probably come up with a big bag, right? Because if Kentucky decides that they still want to play, they still want to try to make a play for this kid, somehow, maybe whoever it is that gave Oscar Sheboy the $2 million, maybe they might have a little something in the bag for DJ. We never know, right? And at the end of the day, DJ Wagner still has, probably genuine love for Coach Cal. DJ Wagner's probably torn, honestly. He probably loves Kenny Payne. He loves Coach Cal. He probably would have been happy either way if his son ended up in Louisville or if he ended up in Kentucky. But at the end of the day, Louisville gave his father a job, right? His father has real ties to the university. Like I said, he was on the championship team. So at the end of the day, I'm sure that DeJuan is very happy for his father to be in this position, and he's very happy for his son to be in a position to go to either one of these schools. But at the end of the day, Louisville, you're going to have to come with the bag, because if Kentucky opens up the pocketbooks, it would just be super embarrassing for you guys to hire this kid's grandfather and then still lose him to Kentucky. We'll see what happens though, man. But anyways, y'all let me know, how do you feel about Louisville finessing college basketball and technically not putting Milt Wagner on the staff, but technically still using him as a recruiting tool? What do you think about that, man? You let me know, and we'll get back at it again. Sports and Discourse with your boy, Derek Stevenson.